Hello agents, my name is Robert Fox, and today I want to run a tutorial on our PartnersLink website for you. The easiest way to get to PartnersLink is through our main porthole website, and if you'll just click on the Agent Support button in the upper right hand corner, that will open up a login page. Second login is PartnersLink, and if you PartnersLink, it's got couple very cool tools to it. This is the resources which are available to all of us, and in our resource center we have an MPNX lookup. So if you want to see, for example, who the local carrier is in that area. So let's take a look at a local MPNX telephone number from Las Vegas, Nevada, and here you'll see CenturyTel is a local carrier. This is the LATA that it's in, and these in that particular rate center are the different area code and prefixes that are available, or the different prefixes. Basically the information that's available in the wire center. Okay, let's say for example you have a customer that has multiple locations. Okay, so this tells us right here that this location is CenturyTel. This other location that I put in is Verizon California, formerly GTE. It's in Lakewood, California. This is in Las Vegas. And here is the mileage difference between these two central offices. This gives us a lot of, and here's the two different LATAs. So this will serving central office. This will help us with a lot of that stuff. This tool is very cool in that it gives us likely suspects. So all we have to do is type who more than likely is going to be available or possible carriers that we could look to for services for this particular client, just by typing in their area code and prefix. Now it's not going to, I'll tell you right now, it's not going to have everybody that's available in that area, but it will give us a good kind of sounding off point, shall we say. Okay, but let's say for example we have a client and they're moving and we don't know what the area code and prefix is for their new location, because that's very important when it comes to pricing out circuits. We can type in their address here of their new office, search, and that'll give us an area code and prefix. Okay, very useful information. Now, okay, so let's start by putting in a quote, and this is our new RFQ. And why don't I go ahead and put one in for T1Connections, and let's see what we get. Okay. One thing I want to point out to you is, let's say for example I didn't know what a good area code prefix was for this address. There's two ways I can go about getting that information. I can go to our resource center, which we talked about earlier, type in that information, and it'll generate an MPNX for me most of the time. Or I can go in and, in the process of putting in a proposal, put one in that I know is wrong, and this is one that I love to put in because I know it's not an MPNXX because it is the first 6 digits of my cell phone number. Okay, and then we hit continue, and voila. See this little red X here? What does that tell us? Non-ILAC number. Okay, see, we want to get a green check mark there. And so since we're not going to get that, I click on this hyperlink here, and it's going to go into our database and pull out, aha, there it is, a good MPNXX for us. I update that, and voila, done. Now, here's the areas that we're going to look for to put services in. There are 5 different categories here. No, there's not. I take that back. There's 6 different categories. Bundled services would be an integrated circuit. That is somebody that wants to put in voice and data on the same circuit. Okay? It doesn't mean that they want to order voice and data services and maybe order 2 circuits. That would be maybe internet access and local service. Okay? Internet access means they're only going to order internet access. General services is kind of a catch-all. That's where we would put in hosted voice over IP. We would put in MPLS circuits there. There's a whole wide variety of different circuits that we would put in there. Long distance pertains to somebody that's asking for long distance service only. Not somebody that's going to order local service and wants a long distance plan with their local service. That's handled with the local service. So if you have somebody and they're looking for just, call center type applications, they do a tremendous amount of long distance and they can justify getting a dedicated circuit for long distance. That's what that's for. Local services are anything from phone lines to POTS lines to PRIs. Could be T1 PRIs or DS3 PRIs or even OC3 PRIs. That's local services go there. You can also put SIP trunking in as local service if it's only SIP trunking. That one, most of the time, though, is going to fall under general services. And then private lines are not a VPN, but a pure private line. So a point-to-point private line. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about that. Let's take a look at internet service. Well, here we go, and it's got our location here. Now, if this was a multi-site customer, it would have multiple locations listed here, but it doesn't. It just has us because that's the only address I gave it. And if we had a rate comparison, so in other words, you know what the customer's paying right now for their bill, I would strongly urge you to fill this information in. And the reason why I suggest that is because our back office then will take that information and put together a detailed breakdown on exactly how much the customer's saving per month, how much they're saving on an annual basis, and how much they're saving over the term of a contract. Now, when you start talking about the terms of a contract and somebody is saving, $400 a month, we're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars in savings. I have had customers that by switching carriers, that $400 a month, which doesn't, it sounds like a lot, but it doesn't seem as though it's that much. You multiply that by 36, it's a tremendous amount of money. Okay? So if you have that information, it's always very useful to put it in. For our demonstration, we're going to say we don't have it, which is also fine. We're going to do a T1 here, and we're going to say that the customer wants the carrier to supply the router. We're not going to mark any preferences here, because unless you have a hard, fast preference, it's best if you don't mark it. And we'll get into why that is. Primarily because in our rating process, it will omit what otherwise might be very good proposals. Here we're just going to put in some estimates here. And let's just say we want to do a 3-year term. Let's see. And here we're going to leave notes. Nice guy. It's important to put notes in here if you have information that would be useful for the carrier to know. Okay. Obviously, a note like this, I'm not going to really leave that in there. But let's just say, for example, there was information that was relevant to the proposal process. We would definitely want to put that in. And here we have our basic proposal here. Now, let's say, for example, okay, they want internet and then they also want voice service. Well, we can go in and we can add that here. All right? And here's all the different options for local service. So let's just say we're going to do a PRI, that the customer, it would make sense for the carrier to know that, they're doing about, not 5,000 LD minutes a month right now. Okay? Those notes can be very helpful when we're pricing things out. And let's say that that's basically what we want to propose. Going in and it's getting proposals for us. I'm going to pause this right now. Okay, now we're back in our RFQ manager, and as you can see, we've some quotes that have already been generated. Now, it looks as though we've spent a tremendous amount of time putting these quotes together, but as you and I both know, we actually haven't spent hardly any time at all putting this together. And this is about the extent of what we have to do as far as putting this together, because T1Connections back office is going to take it from here. Right now we have some data quotes in here. Don't have anything yet on our voice proposal, but we will have that shortly, okay? And the back office is going to be working on those voice proposals. Back in our RFQ manager, and we're ready to go because I just got an email from the back office telling us that our proposal is ready. And so now let's open it up and take a look at our proposal. Now in this particular instance, you'll notice that my name is actually on both sides of this. This is not realistic of what your proposals are going to look like. Your proposals are going to have your name over here on the right-hand side and your prospect's name over here on the left-hand side. Okay? And then here, because we have two products that we asked for a proposal on, we have the data side and we also have the voice side. This is a full T1 for data, and we have a PRI T1. So, let's take a look at what we have. Here's a breakdown on our PRI service, on our data service, and it lists it by the most affordable on downward. Okay? And then if we wanted to see what we have as far as voice services go, we could just click on that, and that'll take us down to our voice service providers. Okay? Let's go back up here and say, well, this proposal looks pretty good. I'm happy with the way they put it together. These prices seem really pretty affordable, and I think our client is going to like this. So what I want to do is I want to send our client a notification letting them know that, hey, your email, your proposal is ready. And what happens is your prospect's name will come up here, and then this verbiage here is basically kind of a set verbiage that we have as a default for just about everybody. But you can change this and put in any type of verbiage that you want. We can go over and show you how you do that. And if there's a particular message that you want it to leave, say there's something in here and you say, well, geez, Rob, I want to tell you about, blah, 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 how nice our lunch was the other day, and have the quotes ready for you. You can type in anything in here that you would like. The only things that you don't want to change are the things that are in this bracket, which is the HTML coding, because that is an actual link into our PartnersLink. Okay? Again, push the button here, you send it, and voila, your prospect is now going to see a proposal. And if you look here, it took us literally about 10 minutes or so to put this in. And it looks as though it's a proposal that you've been spending days working on. I think your prospects will really appreciate the amount of effort that goes into putting these proposals together, even though T1Connections is a company that's putting in the majority of the effort for you. And that's an overview of our PartnersLink. Let me close this out. And then, as I was saying, we can you can go into your preferences and you can make adjustments there. You can change anything that you would like, any of the defaults, anything that you want to change. You can change that over in your profiles. And that is a demonstration of our PartnersLink. And again, I want to thank all of you so much for joining T1Connections, and we really, really appreciate the effort that our agents give us and the honor that's bestowed upon us by allowing us to serve you. And so please, 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 if there's any questions or you need any help